Hello, hello, and welcome. Welcome back to Space Engineers on the Xbox, on the Series X, and we continue with our little tutorial series on how to get started in Space Engineers in 2024. We have our little headquarters set up here, and we have our conveyor sorter and our box, which is chucking our gravel out of the system and storing it nicely. And what we want to do now is we want to expand our stone gathering a little bit. And to do that, we're going to attach a hinge and a drill to this cargo container here. Now, don't worry about the gravel for the time being, because what we're going to do is we're going to build a little loop back across the top to give us stone from this box into the system, because what I want to do is I want to actually expand over the next video or so to a bigger drill rig, one that can excavate a portion of this little mountainside here before we start looking seriously at resources out and around, because I want to expand this platform if I can. If I can find cobalt, then I can get metal grids, then I can build the full scale refiners and the full scale assemblers. But to do that, we need a bit more infrastructure, and the best way to do it, first of all, is to get a loop back set up on here, and we're going to use conveyor tubes to do that, which will in essence allow stone to flow all the way from this box into here, and gravel will get pulled here, but also gravel will get pulled back in here, and it will constantly keep on going round. But not a problem, because that's okay. We're only going to use this system to gain a lot more stone than rather than me running over there, coming back, running over there, coming back. So let's get started, shall we? On this one, open up the build menu by clicking in the left stick, and we want to go to our conveyor junctions, and we want to get our tubes. We want 2 curved conveyor tubes, like so, and press A until we cycle through all of these, and 1 conveyor tube, like so. Then, hopefully, we want to put all these parts into production by holding the left bumper, tapping the inventory button, and you'll see all these parts in production. For creating this system. And while we're here, we will go and get more stone. You might have noticed the pod's gone. Yep, I ground that down off camera. It's all gone now, and all the metal plates have been stored. So back to the little mine. We should have a bunch of stone. I've probably still got all my... No, I haven't. I put them away. I put all my hydrogen bottles away in the O2 Classic. There we go. They're all in the O2 H2 gen. We're getting there. We'll assemble our little loop back. Turn the light off. So pushing up on the D-pad we get to our curved conveyor tube. It's facing the wrong way, so we can change the rotation. Actually, I'm going to have to go up in the air to do this. There. On that one. Oh, hold on. I've just noticed that I've got my creative mode tools on because I was testing the time of day on something. And I was building something on this to test it out to see if it would work, because I always do. Save going back to my creative map, and it should be very interesting to build in survival. But yeah, you can put creative mode tools on, you can blueprint, you can bring in blueprints without the use of projector. Very good when you're doing series like this to be able to make sure something will work. But yeah, if I want to show you how to do this all the way from the top, then we want in our gas and logistics, we want our curved conveyor tube, pop it there, spin it like that, spin that. Then we want another conveyor tube. Connecting there. And then if we can't reach it, just go up, stand there. We'll just weld that because we could pull all the components out now. We'll probably have a few more left over because of my slight error. Just so we've got our loop back, which will allow stone to flow to this container from our little system that we're going to build there. Right, so now we want a hinge, and I'll show you something about the hinge. Hopefully we'll be able to build one. There's the hinge. So put a hinge into production. And we want a piston in production. And we probably run out of stone. So let's go and get some more. Eventually, like I said, this is all leading up to the big stone revolution. Let's have a look. That's there. We'll do here. Grab a bit more stone. And just get a load of stone just sitting here for now. The early game of Space Engineers is all about shuffling stone back and forth to these places. Let it do its thing. And this will get you set up specifically with a lot more stone. And if you are using mods, I always suggest, and you can go back through some of the videos and you can look at Galax synthetic materials if you want to make the early game just a little less grindy or drilly, however you feel. You might also notice as well, I put a GPS marker on the base. I'll run through that as well when I just get back. Let's do a bit more drilling. We'll drop this stone off. And it couldn't be easier popping down the GPS marker like this. Just open up your inventory, tap the left trigger, press X, which is new from current position, rename it to what you want, choose always visible on the little box if you so desire, and always show on HUD, and then it will appear. And if you hold both bumpers down, you can see other GPS markers that have been placed in the environment. You see the gold all the way over there. How are we doing on our production? Still needs a bit more stone. Go over here again while we're still got a load of stone here. And we've got enough to build a hinge and a piston soon. And we're going to use that to expand our stone gathering antics quite a lot. And then eventually what we're going to do is we're going to chop this here. And we're going to put a straight in. Or what we could do actually, for the time being, thinking about it, since I want it to be a lot lower. No, that will work. So we're going to put a hinge here, a piston on it, and we're going to use that to drastically speed up our stone gathering. And then when we come to building a proper rig, we're actually going to put a system together that will allow us far more flexibility in drilling and bigger holes at the same time. That may be a second video, or rather another video on this. We're just gonna keep going. More stone. I don't really want to shortcut anything by editing. I guess the purpose of this is to show you not the best way to get started, just a way to get started. There are more efficient ways, no doubt, and there's probably a lot of you out there who play the game screaming, don't do it like that, do it like this. Well, you do you. And to remove any tool from your hand, just to recap, it's the left bumper and the B button, and that will count for a lot of things in Space Engineers. As you can see, you're limited early on by the resources you have. and these little amounts of stone don't they don't last long, so you're always mining and drilling until you find cobalt. Though you can't make thrusters, so you can't do anything funky like get a prospecting ship or even a mining ship built. But to do that, you're going to need a lot of resources. This may do it in one. There it is. So, first things first, we want a hinge. So, just pull as much of this out as possible by holding the right bumper and tapping the inventory button. Now we want a hinge. And you'll find the hinges over here in Advanced Systems. You want to look at the ghost of the hinge, and you want to make sure that little marker is at the top. I'm just going to weld up the hinge first. And with all things like hinges and rotors, it comes in two parts. The hinge part and the main hinge. There we are. We've got our hinge. And before we do anything else, let's pop the light on. We're going to open up our little cargo container, and we're going to go hinge, and we're going to come down. We're going to put shear inertia tensor on. But what we're going to do is we are going to put some velocity on the hinge. Watch where the hinge goes. If I add positive velocity, you'll see the hinge starts to go downwards. If I add negative, it comes up. So negative is always towards the little marker on the hinge. So we want that lower limit, which is the negative side, to 0. It says we don't want the hinge pointing upwards towards the sky. We want it to always return to the horizontal. So hold both bumpers and tap the right direction on the D-pad once. Now when we put our velocity in, let's just make it 1, you'll see that our hinge will go on its upper limit all the way to 90 and then stop. And then if we go up here to reverse, you'll see our hinge will come back all the way up, and because we've set that limit, it'll stop. And what we want to do is we just want to put the hinge lock on and then reverse it again, so we know that it's going to move the correct direction when we undo that hinge lock. And we're going to use that with the piston to allow us to do a little bit more drilling. But first, we need to build the piston. And also looking at our suit, we just need pop over to the survival kit. There we go. And now we're going to build our piston and just rotate it till you can see that, and that will make it easier to access the piston if you want from the ground, and start building it. And again, pistons come in two parts. They come in the main piston part. I need steel plates to build the piston, so just let me okay, so if something like this happens, don't panic. Just tap the build planner by clicking in the left trigger with your welder out, and then come to your box and just withdraw components again. It's likely because I used those components to build the hinge part. That's probably going to happen with the top piston part as well. Yeah. So just again, top piston part, build planner, box, withdraw. So it cannot withdraw large steel tubes. So looking in, let's put those into production. Actually, let's just make sure that we can see what happens when we try to... Yeah, we'll build the steel plates. So we're missing the steel tubes. While the build planner's still open, let's just clear it completely by pressing Y. Then we'll come back to this. We'll use it again to shortcut everything. Add those to the build planner. And then see if we can't put them into production. And we're missing some stone, so let's go and get some. And we're getting there. Soon we won't need to visit this little mine. It's been very useful though. Actually should have enough. There we go. And we won't need to worry at all about getting stone in the foreseeable future to do what we want. And you should see as well that in this cargo container here, the gravel is looping back through the system. That's okay, as I said. If we want to stop that, we can just cut that pipe there for the time being. But to be fair, we don't need to pick up those pipes. And there we have our little thing. Next thing we're going to want to do, finally, is build a drill. And we'll make sure the build planner is clear. Yeah, build planner is clear. We're all good on that end. So now we're going to need to put a drill into production. And yeah, we'll do it after. And we've only got the drill. So we'll make sure it'll fit first by looking at the ghost. Yep. Perfect. So our drill is here. Select that. Add it to the build planner. And put all components into production. So, yep, we're going to need a bunch more stone. This is why we don't forget our mine until much later on. but it'll be worth it. So we'll just do a massive amount of drilling. I'm going to do 2 or 3 trips. I may as well. Gone quite far if you look. Just do 2 or 3 trips on this, and then what we'll do as well is we'll put the whole thing in here, and then I'll just stop off briefly into the control panel, choose the piston, throw shear inertia tensor on that too. I've said this before, shear inertia tensor is a lifesaver, especially when you're playing solo, because it stiffens all the connections and stops horrendous clang / wobble. Yeah, we're going to be going for a while. So ideally, we need to keep feeding the machine. I could actually have a stone mine a lot closer. Than it is. But it is what it is now. And we make do with what we've set up. And we're going to have some fun. And definitely stay tuned when the signal update comes out to Space Engineers. There's no actual date on that yet, I don't think, just that it's coming. And we're going to have a load of fun with that, because it's going to allow for some interesting builds. Proper, true remote communication with the other grids. One thing I wanted to say actually is, if you want to move anything to the front of the cube, say these steel plates, we want to move them to the back of the cube, hold the right bumper and tap the right on the D-pad, then hold the right bumper again on the thing you want, then tap left on the D-pad, and you'll see you'll reorder the components in the production menu. It just means that you can get your motors up and running and things like that, and then if you've got enough steel plates already to facilitate the build, you can replace those at a later date with the new bit more stone. Let's widen this a little. Yeah, you can replace that at a later date. So get your important components built first, because you may have a surplus of steel plates already in the whole thing. Now you'll see that it will build the motors and then start building the pipes. It'll also build the plates, because certain components require other components to build. But it's all good. As long as you're having fun with the game and you're picking things up, you're learning, then that's the most important thing. And I don't script any of these. These are all raw gameplay. As I'm playing, you're seeing what I'm doing. This is why I'm showing you the various steps. We'll go and get a load more stone. Actually, let's start building our drill. So, got it in the build planner. We'll just pull out a bunch of components that we need. I've got to go across. I keep on forgetting that I need to have the others. And this is just for me. Have the little control panels the right way up. Always remember, if you're going to put the control panels in, the little circle at the top is the right way up. And we're just going to put a bunch of this together until it lets us. We need large steel tubes to get it above the functioning line. So, yep, off we go to our little mine again. It doesn't matter where we get stone from, really, as long as we get it. Let's go and get another load. And we can have a lot of fun. What's going to be interesting with the signal update as well is, in theory, you can actually have a remote off-site mine. Eventually build a drone capable of bringing stone back. If you've seen any of my drone build videos from the Automatons beta or just in general, let me just walk around here. Things are getting a little trickier to navigate now. If you've seen any of those, you could see that you can actually build a system where you could send a drone back to base with a cargo of stone. Another couple of loads of stone and we should be good on the pipes. So yeah, it should give us, however, a way to send a signal to that grid from the main grid without waiting for the cargo to be full, so you can leave it running until you need the stone. Then you press a button and signal will allow you to communicate remotely with the far off grid and get your drone to bring the stone back to you. looking forward to seeing all that function down the line. Let's get you going. There we go. So our drill is functional now. Right, now hold both bumpers down, tap X, we'll quick save, and we're still lacking 250 odd steel plates, but now our drill's functional, we can do something. So let's have a look at this. We're not going to use any elaborate control systems, we're just going to use the thing as is. So first things first, we're going to turn our drill on, selecting our drill using the D-pad, then the stick, and then just pressing X turns it on. Now, thinking about it. Just a moment. I've done this. And this is why I absolutely love doing these videos. You get a little bit more bonus as I'm thinking things through. Oops, wrong one. I want the drill. Come here, drill. Take the drill off. But that's all good. Now watch when you're grinding things down. This is a great example of doing things like this. Don't grind it till your inventory is full, otherwise parts will drop on the floor and you can lose them in the dark. I just noticed something that I can do a lot better with this system, so you're going to get to see in essence how you break things down on Space Engineers. Keep watching your inventory. Big parts add up very quickly. There we go. And I bet a bunch of you in the watching this will be screaming, "Oh my God, he did the thing the wrong way round." And well, that's why I like to sometimes build things creatively first, as my mind is spinning through what I want to do. There. So to do this properly, we're going to build our piston first. And we haven't got the components, I don't think, to build it in there, so we're going to need to put it, clear that for the time being. We're going to need to put it in the build planner to help us get everything we need to build it. There we go. All the components are out for the piston. I'll do this. Keep an eye on your suits. Systems. Build that. Right. Actually, we'll put piston part on there. And I can't pull the components I need by using these because of the conveyor sorter. So that's why I'm running back to the box in front of it. Now what we want is we want our hinge this time. I'm gonna add a hinge to the build planner. And what you can do as well, while you're there, add the hinge part. So instead of running backwards and forwards to the box, we should now be able to go withdraw all those components, get our hinge part and our hinge, rotate our hinge until it's back there. I'm going to build the hinge part. And the hinge. There we go. And finally, pop our drill on the build planner. This should be enough to build the drill. And you'll see why in a second. What I've been doing. There we go. So we've got our functional drill. So we're just going to access our piston and we're going to come up to the hinge, hold down the right bumper, push down on the D-pad, tap A again on the piston and choose Share Inertia Tensor and put them on both. Then we're going to go back to our hinge. Remember what we did before. Go to our lower limit, set that to 0. And just drop our hinge lock on for the time being. Select our drill, start it. And then we're just going to angle our view a little so we can just see the ghost of, or rather see through the GUI. And then we're going to go to the hinge again. And we're just going to slowly bring up the velocity on it to about 40. Take off the hinge lock and listen. Hear that? There. That's where our drill is cutting into the stone. And now, if we open up our inventory, you should see we are getting stone, in to the system, and our production on our metal plates when we're starting to get more iron ingots in. And it's still pulling stone through. There's our gravel. And the great thing about this is that if anything is stuck in the system, we needn't worry about it, because we can pick up stone ourselves and we can start transferring that stone into here as well. say the conveyor sorter. Our cargo container has gravel going through it. What we can do here is we can just go to our hinge, turn the hinge lock, reverse our hinge, and the reason we had this piston installed, go to the piston, pop some velocity on it, take it to this, hit reverse, and just fully extend it. Like so. And then go to the hinge. Choose the drill, turn the drill on, and go to the hinge, and hinge lock it at 77 degrees. And we can pick up a lot of stone this way. And if stone isn't flowing properly, well, there is a reason for that. So your piston part's okay. Your top piston part's working. Piston. Let's just pop that. It's usually down to the conveyor sorter blocking things going through the system with the gravel, but we can look through our systems. Check out cargo box. You can see we've got gravel in our basic refinery. So what's happening is, I believe, just let me sort this out. Cut that there. There we go. The gravel's gone through. But that's not a problem, because we're going to be converting this anyway to a proper drill rig now. We're pulling a lot more stone in. We don't have to do any of the stuff that we've been doing. So let's put all this away. So what we'll do next time is we will shuffle stone from here into our little system here properly. And the best way we can do it is probably just completely, for now, remove the sorter and just allow stone to travel straight through. Now, looking at the time on this, just got enough time, I think, to do that. Now, when you're breaking down something like conveyor sorter, you've got to watch out. Let me just save to show you, just in case. There stands a chance that when I break that down, no, there's nothing in the system. So pop that. And then just to replace that here for the time being, we want a conveyor tube. Just build that. We'll just build our conveyor tube. And we should now have everything. For some reason that's not pulling stone through at the moment, but that's okay. As long as actually we got cargo container. Piston's all right. And if it won't pull, there are ways and means to do things. We will take advantage of our good old friend, the conveyor sorter, but this time I'm going to put the arrow this way. You're getting a good long video on this one, showing troubleshooting steps to fix things. Now, in theory, we want the whitelist. We want to come down. All the way. All the way till we hit stone. Press A. Pull down on the stick. Choose add. Go all the way back up. And choose drain all. Let me pick that gravel up. Look at things. It could be that the drill is damaged from its little... Oh yeah, maybe I need to build the drill fully. Forgot about that. It was barely functional, but let's just get it going. Should, in theory, pull the stone through, but it's not pulling it. Always the way. That's connected the correct way around. Hinges on. Finally, assembler. And there's enough power coming through. So we'll solve that on the next one though. That's half the fun of Space Engineers. It's probably something simple, like a restart of the game. Sometimes these systems bog up and you need to restart. But until then though, we shall look to the next video where we'll this system will get broken down and rebuilt completely using an advanced rotor, 3 pistons, and it should be far more interesting, far more efficient. Until then though, I shall say stay safe, take care, have fun, enjoy the game. Signal is coming this May, and it should be a really interesting update to the game. But thank you for watching, thanks for the likes, the subscribes, the support, and the communication. It's appreciated. Nice to see a lot of people going through my old videos and finding something of merit there, something they can use. And that's all I've got time for. Until I see you in the next one, enjoy. Happy engineering. Bye for now.